Hi, my name is Amar Vyas, and in this video we will talk about Voila, which is a tool for creating stories for Instagram stories. Turned out to be a nifty little tool in spite of a few of its quirks, which I will talk about in a few minutes. So if you look at the beta list page, it's very early, very little description. And right now it's free to use. I did use it earlier on. I gave them some feedback. The developers responded. I wrote a blog post about it again a month later just to see how the tool was doing. And I'll just show you what the post is about, and I'll get back to that in a minute. But you can see that these are some of the templates and a couple of stories that I have created using Voila. So this is what it looks like, the final product. And very quickly now, let's go to the actual Voila menu. I have logged in into my account already. For the purposes of this video, you can see there are certain templates which are already available, and many of them are rigid. That means you cannot change the font size or the frame itself in terms of the pictures. So we will see how the limitations actually work as a strong point. And so yeah, some of these images here. The size of the image stays in the frame overall. So the templates are very rigid. So maybe that inflexibility works to its advantage. Let's try creating an image right now. You can see it takes a bit of a while to load. And I'm using Vivaldi or Chrome. It does not work very well on Firefox or on Safari. So this is a stock image right now. Let's try and use, and you can upload. You can even upload some of your images in addition to the stock images which are available, and we will get to that in a minute. As you can see here, I have uploaded some images, but I'll focus more on the stock images for now. Here you can see, I think they use Pixabay, and in most cases, we'll try using a coconut just because the image shows a beach. So let's pick a random image right now. They're using pixels now also. Good. So, yeah, we can crop and resize the image, but you can only move them to a certain extent. Like I said before, rather inflexible tool to use. As you can see, the window or the frame is very limited in its nature, and cropping and saving works a little fast. You cannot move the fonts around. Product's early. Okay, this is not a criticism. I can see that there are some changes happening. Yeah, it's rather inflexible to use. Oops, can't really use this. Let's go back and try and move the coconuts to a different segment of the frame. I wish this was a better process rather than having to iterate and optimize. I guess we'll have to live with this. When we look at the background color, let's try changing that a few times around. Like the green, not the blue that much. Probably will stick to the green. Yeah, there we go. And when it comes to the primary color, that will be the font. No, does not work. Nope. Probably does. I think we'll have to live with the black in this case just because of the nature of the background here. What happens when we change the image? Slightly better one so that we can actually make the font a little bit more legible. So again, we go through the process of resizing or optimizing. And here you can see that I can again only move it to such a limited basis. Slightly better. Probably we can live with black on this one. Let's see if we can change the color. So on the slider, nope. I think black works best. We'll stick with that for now. And now let's just add. Let's see if I make it a little bit bold. Maybe even change the font. I may get a slightly better readable, too dark, slightly more readable result. Yeah, still dark. Okay, I'll just say, yeah, listen to amazing stories. Stories again, not at the right spot. Wish there was a way to change that, but we'll leave it at that. Save the project. I just call it coconut for lack of a better term, and then that's where the real pain point that I have happens. The output is a 6 or 7 second video, and it takes sometimes as much as 10 minutes just for rendering. So they do say here the process can be long, but I think they need to invest a little bit more in the rendering process, maybe some better algorithm, more horsepower, as the case may be. So while the rendering is happening, let's take a quick look at the templates. These are some of the ones that I mentioned before, only about 15 or 16 right now. And these are the stories that I've created. So this is my design library. Ironically, in the menu, it just shows the stock template, but when I click on any of them, I just move on to the other one. Yeah, there we are. This is a ready, image or a video that I had created. So when you click on it, the actual finished product moves on. Here's the other quirky part. When I try to re-download a image or a video from my library, it re-renders. So every time this process happens, which I think should take up significant resources for the processing and horsepower. This is another one. This is the one that I had put in my blog post as well. And you can see here, coming soon. I can change the font a little bit here and there. But the box around, right, the frame, it's cutting into Gatha. And I wish there was a way to change that. You cannot. Cannot resize it, cannot make it bigger or smaller. I think this is something that we'll have to live with in this case. But yeah, I just wish even the image, Gatha, right, the GN and the A and the text below, they're all getting cut in the process. So maybe that's some food for thought. If you again look at the cropping or resizing, I cannot fit it to frame. It has to be within the defined parameters that they have given. So this is where we are at. What I would also like to do is take a quick peek at where we are in terms of rendering for the video that we created for this particular demo. This is how it's supposed to look like in spite of that story is getting lost. And I restarted the rendering process. In the meantime, let's take a quick look at the blog post that I have here. I'd already played this one, a little bit funky. What I want to talk about is probably the comments that I had or the observations I had. And this is what it was that, number one, you cannot undo changes, which is a little quirky. Secondly, if I save a project as, let's say, project 1, so I'll save it as a coconut, use the same template and save it as a car, for example, or a beach. It'll actually overwrite the original project, and sometimes it just does not download, even with all the plugins installed. And the biggest thing was about the rendering, about which I already spoke. I look at it now. I mean, still 73%. It's taking a while. So something that the developer should certainly look at. So this is what Voila is all about. I will add the rendered video at the end of this particular demo. The images from Pixabay and now Pexels, as we saw, are pretty good. And this is a tool that holds potential. I am interested in taking a look at it. I'm also interested about the Devanagari font because we do a lot of promotions for our podcast in Hindi. Will it work for Instagram Reels? I'm not really sure right now. Still rendering, reminds me of the old Intel ad. Still processing. So we will stop it for now and come back later.